XRP holders, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. Happy Saturday wherever you are around the world. Of course, at the time of recording this update, it is midnight here in North America, depending where you are. But yeah, without further ado, let's really analyze and take a look at what we're looking at in terms of, the overall market and, what we could be expecting for the price of XRP. So looking across the board, a lot of green, and at this point, everyone is, up to date, especially if you watch my market analysis update or even the HBAR update that went live before. You guys are kind of, up to date as to what's really happening. So we have seen a little bit of a bounce for Bitcoin, which of course in return has caused, the altcoins to react in a positive way, especially after a major bloodbath over the last few days. XRP specifically, as far as that is concerned, is up 8% right now, with the price making its way back up to that $2.20. So, that is a big thumbs up. And we're also up about 0.6% in Bitcoin comparative. Now, if you're looking at the market cap, $126.8 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume is at about 4.6 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So, fear and greed index did climb up a little bit from 10, which again is extreme fear, to 16. And even though we are at 16, that is still extreme fear, but remains in extreme territory, as I just mentioned. But so, the overall market right now is still, quite, in the fear zone, a lot of uncertainty. And again, people that are, uncertain about the crypto markets. Come on, guys. We saw Bitcoin literally go from 92, the drop in the 23.6 zone, and see such a big retracement. And imagine from a newcomer standpoint, this could be a moment that could spook out anyone. So right now, believe it or not, there is still quite a bit of uncertainty, but smart money, remember, I've said this to you guys before, smart money is accumulating Bitcoin at a record pace. And, they're here for the long haul. They're not here for the next 6 months. They're not here for the next 12 months. They're here for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years for this asset class, because they understand, the potential Bitcoin really has. And again, you got to look at the on-chain metrics. The demand right now that we're seeing for Bitcoin and other digital assets is at a record pace. We've never seen it, and it's actually outweighing the supply. So of course those are positives. So a little bit of a bounce that we have seen. I spoke to you guys about this potential bounce. We could actually make our way up to $85,000, but again, long ways to go. You really want to see the price in the 23.6. If not, there is still a chance of us dropping. But anyhow, in the last week, the SEC has officially dropped cases it had against Robinhood, Uniswap, Gemini, and Consensus. It's a new SEC without Gensler. And, what does that bring? XRP. Is Ripple case really the next one coming to an end? So if all of these are getting dropped off and, Ripple one still does not get dropped, that's just not going to make sense. And I'm sure, a lot of people are not going to be happy about that. But, I have this gut feeling that we're actually going to see this lawsuit really coming to an end sooner rather than later. And, even a previous SEC, member has come out and said that, he thinks that they are going to, drop this case. So again, very interesting times ahead. Let's see what happens. As far as the native token price is concerned, which is XRP, is back up to $2.20, really showing, the demand it has for itself. And, we've been speaking about the demand itself and the way it's currently holding against Bitcoin. It is really, really impressive. But moving forward, RLUSD reserves, report for, the beginning of the year 2025 is out. RLUSD remains over collateralized with good market cap growth since its launch, currently at 130 billion market cap. No large RLUSD burning regulated entities are on ramping and off, and don't go off ramping. So very, very interesting. We're still in the very early stages, and I do believe this number is going to get much higher, especially once you do see that institutional demand growing. And speaking about that, White House to host first ever crypto summit on March 7th. So literally in a week, so just a few more days, and this really takes place. This event will include prominent founders, CEOs, and investors from crypto industry, as well as members of the president's working group on digital assets. The summit will be, chaired by the White House AI's crypto czar David Sachs and administered by the Working Group's executive director Bo Hines. After the previous administration unfairly prosecuted the digital asset space, President Trump's policy vision represents a new era for digital financial technology. The administration is committed to providing a clear regulatory framework, enabling innovation, and protecting economic liberty. Very, very, very interesting. So I'm sure no one's really complaining about that, but now let's really analyze and take a look at what's happening with the price. Dominance did go up a little bit compared to yesterday, but we need to remember, Bitcoin also did bounce. So in terms of dominance going up, it's not too spooky. So that is that. But altcoin market definitely reacting in a positive way right now. But let's really analyze and take a look at what's happening with XRP. So XRP price, even though it did pull down to the likes of the $1.95 yesterday after we dropped down to $78,000. Obviously, XRP is no exception, but as I stated to you guys before in my last update, you don't want to be ignoring, that we're still quite far off, from the wick from February 3rd. So that is very, very interesting. But what's also very interesting is that we did not even touch the neckline of this key support line at the $1.91. And that tells you that the demand factor, for XRP is definitely there. And, the fact that we're back in the 38.2, that is great. Market did bounce quite a bit today. So, this does not surprise me. But what's really, really something that you don't want to be ignoring if you're an XRP holder is the fact that yesterday we saw one of the largest dips for Bitcoin in a few months. So obviously that would require a lot of altcoins to go down, which they did. But XRP is still holding above that key support line, which again is something that I will continue to praise because that is a big, big deal. So if you somehow got in yesterday, you did see a bounce of about 13.57%. Obviously, as we are breaking towards the upside, we have some key resistance coming in the way. If this resistance is able to break out, I think we can go back to this $2.35 quite fast, and that would be a zone to be watching out for because after that, we're back in the 23.6 like we've never left. But with that said, even though things are looking quite interesting right now, we're in a weekend. On the weekends, we do tend to see more manipulation due to the CME futures being closed. So I'm still taking this Bitcoin move with a grain of salt. I really want to see what happens over the next few days, especially the upcoming week. But a little bit of a bounce is always nice to see. But lock those profits in if you have been accumulating and the money that you are sitting as that's too much that you cannot afford to lose, and locking in profits never hurts. But I'll keep you guys covered right now. Let me know down below what you guys think. We'll see you later on Crypto ZX, and peace out.